Howdy, howdy, folks. It is Diecastbuffet here again, and holy cow, what an incredible event at Cota. Not only was the truck race insane, the Xfinity race was insane, and the Cup race, wow. We got a lot to talk about. And, of course, Tyler Reddick gets that huge win at 23XI Racing. He started off the year kind of rocky, but he goes up there and gets it done at Cota. I actually predicted that Reddick would win. I don't take any credit for that. You know, sometimes God just puts a name in my head. But absolutely a huge congratulations to Tyler Reddick. Now, this would usually be the point of the video where I would say, okay, you know, you can pre-order the diecast. I'm almost 1,000% certain that there's going to be no diecast made. You look at the Cota race. Man, I don't know if it was the track conditions. I don't know if it was just the asphalt or whatever that was just wearing out. But this was easily the best next-gen road course race we've seen. I know, small sample size, only 1.25 of a season, but easily the best one. Passing, pitch strategy, tire strategy, restarts, calamity, comers and goers. Wow! It literally felt like we're watching early 2010s road course racing. They had no stage breaks for the trucks, for the Xfinity, and for the Cup. And let me tell you, it was a breath of fresh air. Please, for the love of God, can we please get this at the ovals? Can we get rid of the stage breaks? I watched the truck race, and I couldn't believe just the transition from when it says stage 1 final lap, and then it just pops up and says stage 2, and there's no caution, and they're still running. It's just magical. Because you get fuel mileage, you get long green flag runs that allow park failures, that allow drivers to have penalties. Because I don't know about you, but when they do a stage break, I know for a fact that there's going to be like 10 minutes where there's not going to be a single green flag lap ran. You know what I do? I don't watch the commercials. I go and do other things. So my point is, I feel like even for the broadcast perspective, it gives them a higher watch retention if they forego these stage breaks. Because, I mean, imagine trying to ask someone to sit around for 10 minutes of some pace laps, some pit stops, a whole bunch of commentary, and even more commercials. Just get rid of the stage breaks. I'm telling you, I was so amazed of how, like, just normal the racing felt. I felt like I was watching an IndyCar race because they don't have stage breaks over there. I could care less about the stage points. They can keep them. I don't like them, but they can keep them. Just get rid of the stage breaks because the racing, it was the best road course racing this weekend I have seen in years. I'm talking years because you got the organic fuel mileage stuff. I mean, they had the caution that came out late. I think it was around 14 laps ago. And all 4 of the leaders, some of them were good on gas. Some of them weren't. We haven't saw a organic fuel mileage, situation in a long time, because if they don't schedule the stages to have a long green flag run at the end of the race and you don't get the miraculous caution that's right before the field strategy, you never get that. But if you go back to even the early 2010s or the mid 2010s, you would get that almost every road course race. You would always have somebody in the field that tries to run the race backwards on field strategy. We got that. I'm telling you, man, the racing was insane. Stage breaks need to go because I've never been a fan of them. I'll be the first one to admit it. I didn't like the caution clock when it came with the truck series. I didn't like the idea of stage racing to begin with. And we saw something that a lot of people have been talking about for years. Get rid of it. Just try it. And look how amazing the racing was. Now, for the actual finish of the Cup race, I will say, though, it was a little bit anticlimactic because Tyler Reddick had the best car easily in Austin, right? And he was right there for, 4 straight restarts? I mean, they would restart, he would somehow get ahead, and then they would have a crash, and you never know, they could have fluid. You don't want to see someone, lose a race because they didn't throw the yellow flag and the whole track was oiled down. You don't want to see that. I know it's a 1 in a million chance, so I can understand. But Tyler Reddick's car was so good. Where I have a problem with this is that Kyle Busch had like 3 opportunities, not to dump, but just move the 45, and he didn't do it. Kyle Busch, if I was a Kyle Busch fan, like a huge one, I'd be so disappointed because he had 3 opportunities to win this race, and he didn't even take one of them. It's road course racing. It's either you're the bat or you're the ball, right? You are either going to get used up or you're going to be using other cars. That's just what stock car racing at road courses are. You don't have to dump the leader. But my goodness, if you're second on the second row when you're lined up third, which in this case would be the inside lane, just move the leader. Is it that hard? I could not imagine that not only Kyle Busch drives for a different team now, he's not a corporate teammate anymore to Tyler Reddick. They might be friends, I don't know, but just move them. Take a chance. Reddick would still probably win the race, but it felt like Kyle wasn't even trying to win at the end. And you saw Bowman, who would be multiple rows back, and he just dive bombs, knocking people out of the way. That's how I like it. I want to see drivers taking runs. I want to see the AJ Allmendingers dumping cars, moving them out of the way, because it's exciting. I can't help it. I find it fun. But nonetheless, huge congratulations to the 45 camp getting that win. And I tell you what, I don't know what was the difference between what they were doing last year at the road courses. I mean, last year's Cota race was good, but it just seemed like the cars could just race so much better with this go around. And it makes me wonder, did the low downforce package actually make that much of a difference? Or was it just, I don't know, we just got a more of an aggressive, road course stock car race? Was it the not having stage breaks? Did that just change everything up and enable more comers and goers? I don't know, but if it is the downforce package, clearly it didn't work at Phoenix, but it looks like it works pretty good at Cota. So I'm happy about that. Obviously, we didn't see the tire wear that we were expected to see. I mean, Cota's a pretty new track in terms of the asphalt. Some portions I think are paved differently than other portions, so I don't expect it to wear that much. We're not talking about decades old asphalt here. But my point is that the racing was fantastic. I could not be more thrilled with it. What a great weekend of racing. No stage breaks, man. I'm telling you, that is the way to go. And here's moving forward what I honestly think is going to happen. I don't think they're going to implement it this year for the ovals, unfortunately, which I wish they would, because for many years, they have made big rule changes on the fly. Let's just be honest with that. Jeff Gordon at Richmond getting in the playoffs. But my point is, I would not be surprised it's actually going to be implemented next year, because what's going to happen is if the fans enjoyed what they saw, seeing organic green flag racing, tire strategy, parts failures, fuel strategy, comers and goers, the stuff that we've seen in the Sprint Cup, Nextel Cup, and Winston Cup era, you're probably going to see a lot of fans commenting on the social media platforms how they enjoyed this. And then there's going to be pressure that they need to add that into the oval races as well. And oh, by the way, we go to, in my opinion, probably the worst oval track on the circuit, Richmond. But there's good news. At least Larry Mack's going to be in the booth, so that's going to make the broadcast so much fun. But the Richmond track, oh boy. I can't believe they even run 2 races there at Richmond, to be honest with you. I would rather see him go to Texas and run the botched 1.5 mile than run Richmond, to be honest with you. That's how bad that track is with a next-gen car. And if it races like it did at Phoenix, it's going to be a horrible race. So hopefully they'll do something different with the short track package. I highly doubt it. Who knows? What do y'all think? Feel free to comment down below. But man, I love the racing this weekend. It was fantastic. Last year, the road course racing, it just felt a little bit flat. It felt like it was just, you had 2 cars that would just break away and everyone else just minded their P's and Q's. This one, you had comers and goers. You had crashing. You had part failures, dive bombs. Sure, there was 2 cars that were mostly dominant, that being the 24 and the 45, but they had to work for it. They had to go for it. Fantastic racing, guys. Fantastic racing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So hopefully we'll get them, stage breaks removed on the ovals. Who knows? It may never happen, but I think it proved everyone's point that stage racing does not make better racing. What do you think? I don't know. Have a great one, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and, for all your, 164 diecast needs or 124 diecasts. Since we can't get the race win 124 most likely, which I'm like 99.9% sure we ain't going to get that one. You can pre-order all the other race win 124s from this year, like your Daytona 500 Stenhouse car. They're available in 164 scale. Heck, maybe even the William Byron Phoenix and Las Vegas wins. You can go pre-order that. Use the code DIECASTbuffet over there at Circle B Diecast for any orders $30 or more. So you can save on shipping, which who doesn't love that? That's all for now. Have a blessed day, everybody. Diecastbuffet signing off.